I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. What an exciting daily puck drop here on this Wednesday. Your daily sports podcast, one win away for your Seattle Mariners as they get set here on this Wednesday, taking on the Detroit Tigers in Game 4. Here's the thing. If you're listening to this later, either they won or they lost. That's the beauty of this. Well, welcome in here on Wednesday's Daily Puck Drop. We are broadcasting from the Limbach Lumber Studios, as we always do. Contractors, they got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects, the largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call at 206-782-3487. Visit them at limbachlumber.com. Follow this adventure on all the social media platforms, Puck Sports on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and Puck_sports on TikTok. Please go to pucksports.com as well. There you can find everything that we do daily. All the shows are all there in one nice, tidy little website. Also, you can sign up to become a Puck's Posse member, which you support all the free daily content that we do here on this fabulous program. But also, you get bonus shows as well, including the early release of our Inside Pitch show with Ryan Divish, out now right before Game 4. We'll play a little snippet of it during the show today. That's what we got coming up. We'll give you 5 minutes of Old Crimson today. Old Crimson is out for all you Coug fans, as myself, Jim Moore, Paul Sorensen break down the Cougs versus Ole Miss. Can they pull off the upset? That is available on YouTube. Also available on the Puck's Posse membership page, but it's free. Don't got to pay for that one, but it is available for you to go listen to, and you can watch it on YouTube as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he joins us on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It is the one and only, it is the go-to guy, Jimmy Moore. He's decked out in Mariners gear. He's in the shed. Will you watch the game in the shed? Where are you sitting today at noon Pacific?
I'm going to be sitting right outside because the last two games, Kathy and I have watched a game outside, and we're going to play along with the superstitious thing and not want to change the mojo. So we'll be, outside. It's supposed to be low 70s here in Bend today.
Ooh.
So it'll be a perfect day for the Mariners to clinch the series and come home and not have to face Derek Skubal.
Yeah, a low 70s. Nice. It's a little cool out here. We usually watch on the back deck as well, but I'm not sure today. It's a little too cold to be on the back deck, despite the fire and the heating. Now, listen, Jim can live down in Bend and be retired and have a shed that is bigger than most people's homes, because he's brought to you by not one, not two, but three fabulous sponsors here on Puck Sports.
That's right, Puck. A special thanks to my first sponsor, Brian Turner from A Clean Streak in Oak Harbor. He also has a professional Christmas lighting business. It's called Bright Owl Lighting at brightowllighting.com. Commercial or residential, Bright Owl Lighting can do the job for you, extending from Island and Skagit counties and as far south as King County, depending on the size of the job. So give them a call for a free estimate at 360-675-2034 or visit brightowllighting.com. My thanks to Brad Brotherton, who I texted yesterday. He's over in Italy right now. He's not going to the Ole Miss game. He's a big Coug, but he'll be back later this weekend. And he's the owner of Brotherton Cadillac, Northwest and Shoreline, Brotherton Cadillac and Brotherton Buick GMC in Renton, with a legacy of trust, quality, and unparalleled customer service. They are committed to exceeding your expectations at brothertonauto.com. Matt Baker, he's another Coug. I love Matt Baker. Talked to him yesterday. He's fired up about the Mariners like we all are. The Angry Beaver, you can go there. It's in Greenwood. They're 100% gluten-free, and they've got the best brisket in town. Check out the M's today at noon. They'll have that game on every screen there. The Kraken home opener tomorrow at 7 o'clock against Anaheim, and they're going to open early at the Angry Beaver for the Cougs and the Ole Miss game at 9:45 Saturday morning. So head over to the Angry Beaver and have a good time. Tell Matt, go Cougs.
They got you packed there at the Angry Beaver. Mariners, Kraken. How many people know the Kraken start tomorrow?
Well, I was a little vague on that. I'm pretty well, because I follow Mike Benton on Twitter.
Oh,
and
sure.
So I know that the Kraken, did you know it's their fifth season?
No, that's amazing. Is it really year number 5? Well, that's incredible. Good luck to Mike Benton and the Kraken Audio Network crew. So the Angry Beavers got you covered. Head on over there. Angry Beaver, you got the Mariners on. Stay there all day. Watch a bunch of baseball all day long, and then, I don't know, sleep there and watch the Cougs pull off the upset there Saturday morning. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't believe that.
Well,
don't fool your listeners.
I don't. But, you know, it could happen. Okay, you believe in miracles, and there's nothing wrong with believing in miracles.
I believe in miracles. Wrong. I do. Yeah. Go Cougs.
Well, do they get it done today, Jim Moore? Oh, that's a no. Son of a bitch. I do not.
Okay. On the one hand, I'm excited for my kid Stevie. I'm excited for every Mariner fan out there. But Stevie's a big Bryce Miller fan. He's wearing his Bryce Miller jersey to class this morning. I think the kids are skipping class this afternoon, though, so they can watch the game, and that's fair by me. You know, skip class to watch the Mariners.
God.
But did you see Luke Arkin's numbers on Twitter? Bryce Miller, his last 8 starts since he came back from the IL. Not good, Puck. 41 hits in 41 innings. He's given up 12 home runs since he returned in 8 starts. 833 OPS for the opponent against Bryce Miller, and a 53% hard hit rate. That's something you'd never get from me, only because I lifted it from someone else, Luke Arkins. So that does not bode well, but I'm pretty sure that Dan Wilson's going to have that quick hook, they call it, right? So after 3 innings, I think Bryce Miller will be coming out of the game, maybe 3 or 4 innings at most.
Yeah. I mean, I would say though the last month, if you can't do this. So, but I think in the last month, he's given up the home run ball. I'm not the Dodgers game. I'm not so concerned about. But if I were to take out that last Dodgers game, it's not great. I mean, it's still a 4.9 ERA, but 22 strikeouts and 5 walks. I mean, it's not been god awful. It's been a little bit better. So I don't know. I'm not gonna dwell too much on what he's done since he's come back. I got a good feeling.Maybe I'll be wrong. I got a good feeling about him today. I just do.
Well, I think Bryce Miller as a 5th starter, Bryce Miller is great.
I think certain guys rise to occasions when something is really big on the line, and I think we've seen this with Castillo. You've seen this with Castillo throughout his career, like big game moments. And sometimes it's always those guys that you don't expect those big game moments from.
Okay, because I was just going to say, what makes you expect Bryce Miller to be one of those guys? Has he had any history of doing that?
Probably not. I just think there's a mentality that maybe it's because he's a big Texan. I don't know. I said this to Divish this morning when we were talking, that I just think that mentality that he has, I think he's going to potentially really relish this moment. Okay. Because I think he understands what's on the line. He understands that he hasn't had a great season. I mean, again, last year he was one of the best pitchers on this team. And I think that when you have a competitor like he is, and he realizes he doesn't need to be perfect today, he doesn't need to go 7 innings, he needs to give them 5, 4, maybe 4. Yeah, he could go 4 innings. He could go 4 innings and be like, okay, good. And I think if he can give them 4, and it's a real quality 4 innings. You turn it over to Hancock. Divish and I talked about this. I would not be stunned if we see George Kirby on the mound tonight or this afternoon. This is his throw day. It's his 3 days. And yes, he would pitch on Friday, potentially, if there's a game 5, but he would be on an extra day rest. Keep in mind that Luis Castillo would be on his normal turn if he were to go Friday. So I think Dan Wilson, this is a game where it's all hands on deck, because what you just said earlier, they do not want to come back home and face that guy one more time. I know they've beaten him 3 times, but I put the odds in the old AI machine. What are the odds? What's the percentage that the Mariners could beat Tarek Skubal 4 times in one season?
You want me to guess?
Sure.
10%.
1.5.
1.5%.
1.5% that they can beat him 4 times in a season.
Wow.
I mean, he was great last game. I mean, he was great. He gave up 2 home runs and that's it. He was phenomenal.
So when you say that, that sounds like an elimination game today for the Mariners, even though they're up 2-1.
I feel like it is. I feel like today is an elimination game. I feel like today, even though it's not, I feel like today is a must win for this team. An absolute must win.
Okay. All right. You feel that way, but you're, a sports talk show guy, and I am too. But what about the players? Do you think they feel added pressure knowing who they're going to face in game 5? Or do you think they're going, hey, man, we can just be loose and hopefully we win today. We expect to win today. But if we don't, we're going home. We're going to have all those fans there rooting for us. It'd be cool to clinch it at home. We've beaten Scooble 3 times. Why not a 4th time? Do you think all that stuff is happening with them, or is there some doubt in their minds?
No, I think they want to end it now. And again, they would never come out and say, well, we want to end it now because we don't want to face Scooble on Friday.
No, but I mean, privately, they might think that.
I think it's really difficult to beat someone like that 4 times in a season. It's hard to do it 3 times, and they've done it. To do it a 4th time, and he's going to come out knowing that all the weight, all the expectations on his shoulders to deliver, and then weird things happen. You just don't want weird things happen in a game 5. End it today. Kick your feet up, rest up, get ready for Yankees, Blue Jays on Sunday.
Yeah, for your point on Bryce Miller, I like that one. And I think most listeners and viewers do too. And wasn't there a point or 2 or 3 or even 4 times last year when you thought, hey, you know what? Bryce Miller might be the best starter on this staff.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I think, and we've kind of done that with all of them, right? We've had that moments with Gilbert. You probably had it last night. We've had that moments with Kirby and Wu and Bryce Miller. So he has it's not as good as Logan Gilbert, but we've all watched him. He's got a very good splitter. This team, for whatever reason, cannot hit that. They struggle with it. So I'm sure he has sat back and he's watched, intently how Logan Gilbert attacked that team yesterday and see if he has a game plan. And again, what you said, he really just needs to get through 4.
Yeah, that's all you're looking for. And then if you're Bryce Miller, if you know that going out there, I think it's a different mentality he's going to have that he takes to the mound, because he's not going to be thinking, geez, I need to go 6 or 7.
Nope.
And so I don't know what it's like to be a pitcher. I never pitched, but I would imagine if I'm going out there and Wilson's telling me, hey, man, we need 4 good quality innings from you. All you need is 4 from me. Okay, well, that means I'm going to throw 60 to 70 pitches. And that means I don't need to conserve anything. I can just be like a reliever. And maybe today he throws 98 instead of 96 because of that. So that might make a difference.
And just think about what you've got. Gabe Spire, he's rested. He's had a couple days off. You can still use Brash. You haven't used Hancock.
Do you give Ferguson the rest of the year off now?
I think Turd Ferguson's done. Don't think we need to see. I don't think we need to see Caleb Ferguson anymore. It's unfortunate that was their move at the deadline, but it's not happening. Hopefully, if they advance, he is not on the ALCS roster.
God, the human being in me, the dad in me, I wasn't upset with Caleb Ferguson yesterday, even though he put the outcome in jeopardy. I just felt bad. Didn't you feel bad for him? Wasn't there a part of you that was like, oh my God, I feel bad for that kid? Or was it just overwhelmingly like, God, get him out of there. He sucks. Why is he even out there in the first place? Was it all that?
Sure. I think as the fan, my fan reaction is get him the fuck out of the game now.
Yeah.
Don't use him. Just keep Bizzardo in. Thought that would have been a good spot for Hancock, but you'll hear it later is maybe they were thinking that, hey, we're going to need Bizzardo for today because it's all hands on deck today for Bizzardo. But for Hancock, maybe they're going to use Hancock today and just kind of thinking ahead to game 4. But whatever. Yeah, as the fan, I wanted him out of the game. I don't want to see him in the game at all. I mean, I think, was it game 1 or game 2 that he came in? Now I'm blanking.
I think he was okay in that one, wasn't he?
No, he ultimately got out of it, but it did not look good, and it was kind of you felt uneasy with him in there.
Well, look, even after Munoz came in, Puck, I mean, look how close they were to it being 8-5 with one out and a runner on second, or 8-4 with runners on second and third with one out. Because that guy, you talk about a hard hit ball. That was a line shot that Naylor somehow snared. That goes into the corner. Now you're thinking, oh my God, this might be the worst Mariner defeat of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but they didn't do it. So Ferguson, whatever, we move on. You're not going to see Ferguson again. I'll bet everything that's in my bank account, which is $34, that you're not going to see him again.
I would.
You're going to see. You're going to see Spire today. You're going to see Brash. You're going to see them all. I think you may have a chance to see Kirby today. You're going to Munoz, and this goes back to what Kruger said on Monday to me. He just feels like Munoz is a guy that you can use a lot more often. That he's actually better when he pitches more frequently rather than having days off. And honestly, you go to Baseball Reference and look up his numbers. It's true. He's just a guy that's better when he's kind of pitching a little bit more consistently. So he's going to be available today. Bizzardo's available today. So you're available today. We're all available today, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I bet you they go with 6 or 7 guys today.
I think they're going to do whatever they possibly can to not get this to a game 5. They want to end it today. That's the mindset that they're having. They're going into this game. End it today. Hell, I think now that I think about this, I'm really talking myself up into a lather. I think they're going to end this. I think they're going to fucking smash them today.
Do you?
To be honest. Yeah, I think they're going to smash them.
Do you think they took away their will last night with that game?
Yeah, I think with that.
You don't think there's any momentum they gained from that little 9th inning rally they had?
No,
because there was some talk of that from Adam Amin and those other 2 guys in the booth.
By the way, can I have 30 seconds on Adam Amin?
And who is it? AJ Brzezinski, and who's the other guy?
Adam Wainwright. Wainwright's fine, but that Adam Amin.
Why? What do you think he's?
Did you listen to his call on Crawford's home run? It was like it was a pop-up. Oh, hit to right field. Far, deep, that's out. I don't know, man. Like, have a little bit of excitement. Maybe just a little. Just a tad excitement. I mean, there's no energy. There was no juice in the crowd. I mean, can those guys have some juice in the booth? It's a bad booth. It really is. It's a bad booth. Not good.
Okay. If I'm Adam Amin and I'm watching the Puck Sports podcast today, which he might be doing for his show prep, he could be doing. I'm thinking to myself, God, these guys are giving me a hard time about my JP Crawford home run call. And they've gone 20 minutes burying the lead. We've gone 20 minutes without mentioning that guy in left center field that got Cal Raleigh's home run. I
was just about to get that. The guy from Longview, Washington. How about the odds of that? The guy's out there in left center field, and he fricking catches the ball that bounces up. It bounced up to him. Yeah, and then he's from Longview, went to Auburn High School, lives in Vegas. I mean, just incredible.
Yeah, and then he gets ushered down to the clubhouse. And he was great in the media interview. And then he gets to meet Cal Raleigh and he gets a bat.
It's all lining up.
A dream come true for a fan. And then I mean, he was in Seattle, at one of the Dodgers games, I think. And then, to fly all the way to Detroit on his day off.
And like you, he makes custom T-shirts.
And then he had 62 ready too. It was insane. I mean, it went viral, national, everything. I mean, everybody had that story, and I can see why. I mean, and the guy he had the 61, and then he had the 62 already.
We've had it.
62 here,
Jim. We've had it all. We've had the guy catching the ball. We've got apparently a crying fan because we scored a run in an ALDS game. I mean, we've got it all. Been wonderful.
Well, there'll be more tears today if they make it to the ALCS.
Yeah, I would say here's my thing with the crying guy. I'm going to save my tears until they win the World Series. Not when we score a run to take a lead in the ALDS. Okay? And by the way, the dork was wearing a Savannah Bananas hat. Are you kidding me? He wasn't even wearing a Mariners hat. Why are we making such a big deal about this guy crying in the stands? He was wearing a Savannah Bananas hat. He wasn't even wearing a Mariners hat.
God, why do you have to spoil the moment?
I just get,
Jesus.
oh my God, look at this guy.
I mean, far be it from me to say something like that, but
oh,
I mean, this is
God.
emotional. If you think about all the years of being a Mariner fan, I mean, 3 years ago, Mikey called and he was crying when they made the playoffs. So if the guy wants to cry that they're winning a game in the division series, let him cry.
Such a big Mariners fan that he had a Savannah Bananas hat on. Come on. Lame. Lame.
Yeah, those tears. Oh, you're lame, man. Those tears were genuine. I don't care what the guy was wearing.
It wasn't even tears that they won. There was.
Are you going to cry if they win in Game 7 of the World Series? Will you have a tear or two?
The World Series.
Will you have a tear or two?
Of course, it's the.
And you'll make sure you have a Mariner hat on so that some,
I'm wearing
podcast
Mariners,
host isn't ripping you.
I'm wearing Mariners underwear, thong, with Polanco's eyes in the middle.
Yeah,
right in the whale tail.
All right. Okay. No, that was fun yesterday, wasn't it? I mean, there's all these different things we can talk about where the depth of the lineup, showed itself again yesterday because the 3, 4, 5 hitters didn't do anything. The bottom of the lineup came through. They scored with the long ball, 4 of their runs off home runs, and the other 4 runs, they manufactured them. I mean, this team can do it all. The pitching.
Well, it was fine.
Logan Gilbert. He showed why he could have been the Game 1 starter, didn't he? I was happy for him for that. And it
was great. And the whole, like, they talked about it before the game, and I was talking to Duquette about this on Tuesday's show, the whole chess match to move Carpenter up because he wanted somehow Dan Wilson to react, to take Gilbert out earlier so they'd go to Spire to work in their bullpen earlier. And then Logan Gilbert came out and showed why he's the number 1 pitcher. He was dominant. He just was dominant. I mean, that's the scary thing about them at times, that you make this argument. We just did this earlier with Miller at a point last year, with Kirby, certainly with Wu, Castillo in the past, that they've got 5 number 1s at times.
Yeah, they do. Well, Puck, you were talking earlier about, for some reason the Tigers can't hit that splitter. There's no one that can hit that splitter when he's throwing it like that. There's no one.
Did you see when they showed the slow-mo of it?
Yeah, it's unhittable. And that camera from the umpire's mask or wherever they have it, I mean, it's insane what they're doing.
I like that. I wish there was an option on my TV, 1, to mute Adam Amin, 2, just to have the camera of the umpire. God,
Don't you think Adam Amin was selected to do that game because he's good at his craft?
I can't wait for Adam Amin to call when the Mariners get to the ALCS for the first time in 24 years. And there it is. Mariners have clinched a spot in the ALCS. Congratulations, Seattle.
Yeah. Well, he was probably trying to be, Mr. Objective reporter.
Mr. Objective. My God, Detroit gets a hit when they're down by 9. That's a great hit by Carpenter. Oh, my God. Look at these guys. The Kitties, they are rolling and they're not giving up.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Kerry Carpenter, since you mentioned him, and aren't we all very nervous when he's up to plate, up to bat? Yeah, we're all nervous. He's 1 for 12 with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Well, let's quit worrying about Carpenter.
Well, but the one hit is scarred. It's scarred everybody. Has it not?
Yeah.
It is scarred everybody.
But God, he hit a double play ball yesterday that JP somehow couldn't quite get that ball to first.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I mean, hey, but shoot, new dad Naylor almost made a good play on it.
He did. He did. He had it.
Did.
He had it.
And congratulations to the Nailers. I know he wants to keep it private, and I can respect that. He wants to keep his family private. No problem. But very, very good. So now our crisis is over for people out there who thought he was a bad teammate for potentially skipping a game. Well, he was not going to have to miss a game. Congratulations to he and his wife. Beautiful.
Yeah. If he wants to keep his private life private, that's fine.
Yeah. You're like,
what do you have? He had a boy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they say that? There's very.
My mom was saying that he wore a belt that looked like it had something baby boy on it.
Oh.
Yeah. There was something that he was wearing.
It was blue. It was like a blue sparkly belt. Is that like was he doing a gender reveal that he had a boy?
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love it. I
didn't pick up on that because I mean he's always wearing every color under the sun. So
I know, but I love Naylor. I mean, just the whole thing, the whole package with Naylor. I think he's gonna have what he's let's steal Rick Riz. My pick to click today. My pick to click, if I can say it right, is Josh Naylor. I think Josh Naylor can have a big game.
Yeah. You know what? That's a great pick. You know what Rick Riz would say about that? About Josh Naylor? He's some kind of strong.
He's some kind of strong. Are
you never hear that from Steve Rabel, when he's talking about, Kenny Walker or something. Man, he's some kind of strong out there, but that's, Rick Riz. Everybody's some kind of something.
Hey, you stop taking a shot at Riz.
You're taking shots at Adam Amin. I'm not taking shots at Rick Riz. I'll bet you anything Rick Riz yesterday was saying it was a beautiful day at the ballpark, and it wasn't. It wasn't a beautiful day at the ballpark. What?
Amin is not one of us. Riz is one of us. You leave Riz alone.
We got to get Rick Riz in the Mariner Hall of Fame, don't we?
I don't know. He's got to earn it first.
Does he? I mean, he left. He went to Detroit.
Then
he followed Ernie Harwell. That didn't work out too well.
Yeah, you don't want to find him. All right, so you want me to give you Bryce Miller's career numbers via Baseball Reference?
Yeah,
would you like to know what they are?
It's your podcast. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, you're part of it. He has started in 3 games against the Detroit Tigers. Okay.
Well, when was it? Like last year?
He did not pitch against them.
He didn't pitch against them this year.
So 3 career games against the Detroit Tigers. 19 innings, 10 hits, 1 home run, 1 walk, 15 strikeouts.
All right. I like those numbers better than the ones that Luke Arkins had on Twitter.
Yeah, Luke Arkins is just a guy that likes negativity. And so I'm a positive fan.
You concerned about Casey Mize at all today?
Well, which version of Casey Mize am I going to get? Am I going to get game 1, first game of the year, Casey Mize, who was good, or am I going to get version 2 of Casey Mize, who they obliterated?
Hopefully game 2.
No, I'm not. Yeah, of course. You know what? I'm concerned about everything. Are you kidding me? I am really, really concerned about everything that is going to happen today. Let me take it one step further with Bryce Miller. His numbers at Comerica Park. He has started 2 of his 3 games at Comerica Park. My God, this is why my feeling for him is even better. 14 innings, 5 hits, 12 strikeouts, 0 walks, 0 earned runs. Ladies and gentlemen, book your ticket to the ALCS.
All right, so it's basically a pick 'em, and what you're telling people is to go to DraftKings or Rebet or wherever they gamble.
Wherever they get their gambling podcasts. Bryce Miller.
Take the Mariners in a pick 'em, says Jason Puckett.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I've already bet on the Mariners.
Of course you have. You're not going to bet against the Mariners.
God, I hit a 2-teamer with the Mariners -1.5 yesterday and the Yankees -1.5. How about those Yankees? We're Yankee fans now, aren't we?
Yeah. You know what? And I blanked it. Divish had to remind me of that one. I was thinking record and not seeding in the American League.
I was too.
Yeah. So I was like, but yeah, of course. Yeah, we want home field. So yeah, you want the Yankees to win.
God,
who would you rather?
I love the idea of facing the Yankees because it's just they're the Yankees, and that would be very cool to beat them on the way to your first World Series. You can look back and go, God, yeah, 2025. Remember that? They had to get through Aaron Judge and the Yankees, and that was the year that Cal hit 60, and all that. Rather than the Blue Jays, I know my wife's worried about them. My mom is worried about the Blue Jays, and I had to remind them. I go, you guys remember that like 3 years ago they went up to Toronto and beat them in that series? And they'd forgotten that.
Whoever they play, well, God, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Stop it. We can't get ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of ourselves. But whoever they play will be fantastic theater. right? You got John Schneider, that just bowling ball of a manager up there who hates Cal Raleigh, so Cal will obliterate him in the series. And then the fans coming down. Will the Mariners sell Blue Jays merchandise inside the stadium like they normally do?
Oh, that's going to be rough.
Huh?
That's going to be rough. I mean, because, boy, trying to get tickets for a Blue Jays Mariners series. We think the prices were high for this series.
Well,
and then trying to get 80 or 90% of Mariner fans in there and only 10% of Blue Jay fans. Typically a regular season game, what is it, like 60-40?
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, obviously we want the Yankees to win because one, you want the home field, but then two, I mean, the theater, and here's the thing, the Mariners have not been in the postseason a lot, but they do have a lot of postseason history with this team, right? 95, which, by the way, 30 years ago today was Edgar's double down the left field line. And you remember, oh, how about this? You know who the third base coach is for the Tigers, right?
Joey Cora.
Joey Little.
Crying, speaking of tears,
Little.
crying Joey Cora.
See, you can cry then. You can, if you're Joey Cora, you can cry. You can't.
Everybody loves Joey Cora, but reporters knew him to be, not that great a guy.
Wasn't a good guy.
No, I know.
Call it what it is. He was not a good guy.
Not a good guy.
He was a dick. He was a flat out dick.
He was, but everybody loves him because he cried.
Yeah, he cried, right?
I know. And all of us reporters were like, yeah, screw you, Joey.
Yeah, F you, Cora. No one. So you got that. I lost my train of thought 30 years ago today. Oh, the Yankees. Then you look at 2000, 2001. They've had this history with them. So that would be, and then the Cal Raleigh versus Judge. I mean, that would be great theater, even though it's been determined who the MVP is already, but still would be cool to have those two square off.
No, and then, since we're getting ahead of ourselves, so then you go and you play the Dodgers in the World Series, and then that's probably where the fun ends.
What about I say the Brewers. Let's extract revenge for the Pilots.
God, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. They broke my heart. I was, what was I? So 69. I was 12 years old.
Yeah, of course.
So Major League Baseball comes to Seattle. I would go to the games at Six Stadium, and then all of a sudden, the end of the year, they're going to Milwaukee. What? Huh? Yeah. Let's go.
Boy, I'll say this: as we get really ahead of ourselves, if you are a baseball fan and have the means to travel, and you like to go around to different ballparks, there's some options for you if they get through this. That'd be pretty damn good. One, let's say Yankee Stadium, check. Let's say they get to the World Series, you'd have an option between going to Dodger Stadium, unbelievable, Wrigley, unreal.
Milwaukee, you took on to Milwaukee, didn't you?
Milwaukee is great. Doesn't have that. It's not old school vibe, but Milwaukee is fantastic.
Well, they got the guy that comes down the slide, right?
Yeah, but the best part about Milwaukee is you go to a bar around there, and then they've got a bus, like a school bus, that takes you to the game and drops you back. And they tailgate like it's a football game there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there would be a lot of great options if they keep on moving on. All right. So you believe in them or no? You're teetering. You bet on them.
Yeah, I'm probably going to bet more on them. I feel like it's done. I feel like they're going to get it done today. So yeah, I don't. That stat you threw out there from AI. 1.5% chance of beating Scooble 4 times in one season.
Yeah, thank you
like
to
that at all.
Chat GPT. Thank you, Chat GPT.
Don't like it.
No, not at all.
Let's do it today. Got an hour and a half to go here.
Let's go.
When are you going to start drinking? You got to wait until what, 11:30?
Oh, well, Granddaddy's cough medicine right here.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Buck, you're looking good, buddy.
Yeah. Well, go M's.
Yeah.
Go Cougs.
You know what I'm getting at, but you're avoiding it. But
go Kraken.
Go Kraken.
Who do you got tomorrow? The Kraken game. Do you know? I'll be honest with you. I have zero clue who they're playing. Do you know who they're playing tomorrow?
They're playing Anaheim.
Okay, good. I no idea.
And they've got 3 goaltenders on the roster.
Let's go.
And none of them are any good, I don't think.
Okay, perfect. There we go. We had to wrap it up with some Kraken talk because, this show is their home for the Kraken. Thank you. Godspeed. We'll talk to you Friday.
All right, Puck. Go Cougs. See you later.
Go Cougs. There he is, Jim Moore, with us on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All brought to you by Angry Beaver. Go watch the game today at Angry Beaver. And when you head over to the Angry Beaver, drive your Cadillac from Brotherton Cadillac. After you just had your windows and your gutters cleaned by Clean Streak. Find sponsors that bring you Jim Moore every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Over to baseball, Ryan Divish, Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish. He joins us every Wednesday. Full show with Divish, available only to Puck's Posse members. You can watch and listen to the full show if you sign up to be a member at pucksports.com. However, every Wednesday, we give you Divish Light. And it just had everything. I mean, you got Cal Raleigh hitting a home run, and then the fact that it bounces up into the arms or the hands of a Mariners fan. Yeah. It's just like, and he's wearing, was it a custom T-shirt? Is that the story that he made?
Yeah, I made it. It said it had dump here, and it was like number 61. Then he caught it. Then he pulled it off. He had a 62. Guy was from Longview, apparently. Born and raised in Longview, and then I think he went to Auburn High School because nobody wants to go to Mark Morris High School, right, people?
Someone's listening right now. They went to Mark Morris High School, and they're gonna be very offended by that comment you just made.
Yeah, Christian Capel, Mark Morris High School alum.
Yeah, well, I got somebody else too. I know somebody else that went there. They're gonna be very offended.
Are they the Monarchs?
Mark Morris Monarchs. Yeah, I was the voice of their rival, R.A. Long.
Yeah. I mean, I always felt like Mark Morris gave off such a private school vibe, just kind of the elitism, you pulled for R.A. Long almost,
Of course you did. Yeah. The workman, it was the workman-like school for the folks there in Longview. But yeah, it just had everything. I mean, Cal's home run, again, caught by that Mariners fan. Logan Gilbert was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And maybe you'd like to see him go one more inning, but I mean, that's exactly what you needed to see from Gilbert yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he could have went one more. You didn't need to, and I think given the forearm stuff that he dealt with earlier this year, you don't want to push. I mean, if it would have, I think for a lot of fans, if giving Gilbert one more inning would have meant not having to see Caleb Ferguson in the ninth, that might have been reason enough. Having to use your closer there, not ideal. But no, I thought that was, and I think that we saw why they had Logan Gilbert start game 3 in a lot of ways. That, his repertoire, particularly that split finger fastball, and his ability to miss bats can neutralize hitters, particularly on the road where, momentum swings and, enthusiasm and all that stuff can build in a crowd. Like his ability to strike people out, nothing silences the crowd more than a strikeout with runners in scoring position or runners on base. I mean, that was so good. It was crazy. It was just sliders and splitters mostly, and the occasional fastball here and there. And then when Adam Wainwright says that you have a good slider that guy knows how to throw a breaking ball better than any human being on the planet. And I mean, I thought he was just outstanding.
Yeah, and they talked a lot about it on the broadcast. I mean, we've seen it, forever because we sat there and watched Gilbert. His delivery is just it's so hard to pick up. Yeah. He just has so many moving parts that's going on that it's got to be difficult for a hitter to understand what the hell's coming out of his hand.
It's like a baby giraffe trying to unfurl itself out there, like it's nothing you would teach. Like everything about like the delivery for him is to maximize tunnel the pitches, core strength, balance, all that other stuff, get to the point down the hill. But because he's so long and so, just different build, it's not straight out of the Tom Mamansky videos by any means.
Right.
It's not what you would teach a kid, but for him it works, and it's built, he's built this delivery based on a lot of data and like kinesiology and all this stuff. It works for him. You wouldn't teach it to anybody else. You would teach them Brian Woo's delivery, but you would teach, but he was just, I think there is a level of deception there. And when he gets down the hill, I mean, that pitch he threw to Torkelson for the final strikeout, it looked like a left-handed slider towards his back foot because it was a splitter that just went not only did it sink, but it sunk towards his back foot, and he had no chance of hitting the ball.
They had a slow-mo video of his split finger, and the movement and how it looks, and it's ridiculous. I don't know how you pick it up. Yeah, and they had a shot. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
The shot of how far his fingers are apart on the ball.
Yeah, his fingers, like I said, they were pencil length, but he's like the character Gru in Despicable Me, how his fingers are so long. But I mean, he can that's how he can manipulate it by finger pressure, because his fingers are so wide and so long that he can do that. It's crazy. It's like when he throws his fastball, like, a lot of people tuck their, not to go all Adam Wainwright on Adam Jude's phone, because I'll tell you that story in a second. But you tuck your thumb like this. Logan can tuck his thumb, like a lot of pitchers, all the way underneath. So it's just two fingers holding a fastball to manipulate it.
I have a good feeling about Bryce Miller, and it's not based on anything that he's done this year. It's based on, one of my logic on Bryce Miller is he's from Texas. And I just feel that I got a feeling he's going to take the ball today. I don't know how deep he's going to go, but I just think we're going to get a kind of a 2024 vintage Bryce Miller performance. I got a feeling he has this quality in him where he's going to rise to the occasion here Wednesday, excuse me.
I mean, I think he's well rested. I thought, the Dodgers start, I don't really count that, because those guys were it wasn't like almost like a spring training aspect. All those guys were working on stuff, just wanted to, before they would pitch again. But I did think he was trending in the right directions. What happens is he just has the one bad inning where it's a crooked number. It's 2 or 3. He walks a guy, maybe gives up a hit, and then all of a sudden somebody hits a bomb, or he gives up an extra base hit and they get 2. But the one thing is like, and it's not exactly similar to George and Logan or even Luis, but over these 3 games, he's been able to kind of scout how to get Tigers hitters out. Like, he has a good split finger fastball. If he can command that split finger fastball, throw it in the right counts, and get ahead enough like Gilbert did, he can be effective. And I think his slider's been a little bit better. It's not going to be like Gilbert's where it's got a lot of movement, but if he can throw that downward slider, I think the big thing is just for him, if he's going to miss all the way up with his fastball and keep, his off-speed pitches down. The Tigers, they're not up there looking to walk. They're up there swinging, and Hinch kind of complained about that they got into swing mode early. I mean, how did they get to George a little bit with some walks and some build up his pitch count? So I think you see the blueprint on how to beat him. Now it's just a matter of whether Bryce can execute it. But I mean, like, honestly, we were talking about Adam, Jude and I were talking about it, and Kramer, like, how short is the leash going to be? How do you play it? If you have an off day tomorrow, regardless, I mean, I think logically they just want to get him through the lineup twice. Get through the lineup twice without any major damage.
Okay.
If you can get through the lineup twice, allow a run, maybe 2, if that, then you go from there. As AJ Hinch says, you don't want the 19th plate appearance from Kerry Carpenter to come with runners in scoring position. It came last night. Gilbert had the weapons to beat him. Will they trust Bryce to have the weapons? They have a very rested Gabe Spire right now. Yeah. So I mean, like, that's another thing.
They haven't used Hancock. I mean, what do you think it would be? What would the course of action be? I mean,
you've got
Gabe Spire, you've got Hancock. Bizzardo has not thrown. He's appeared in every game, but he hasn't thrown a lot of. How many pitches has he thrown? 39?
Yeah. So you have everybody other than probably Caleb Ferguson, honestly. And we kind of joke, like, I thought that was when Luke Jackson was going to pitch last night. I think they've made sure to have Hancock to piggyback off of Bryce.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I thought that was going to be a moment for Hancock, or even because he pitched so well the inning prior, why not just leave Bizzardo out there?
Yeah, I think that's because they knew about today. Okay. There are righties, like, you'd like to have Bizzardo in that breaking ball for Torkelson if, like, there's a moment where you can manipulate that.
Okay. Let me ask you, they don't have to do this just because of all the things that you mentioned, but they wouldn't get goofy, would they?
Start Kirby?
Well, not start him, but would they bring him in?
Oh, I think they would use him.
Would they use George Kirby's? He'd be on 3 days rest for one inning.
It's his throw day for one inning. They might use him.
I mean, you could still use him. You could still use him on 5, and you would have then, because he would actually have an extra day rest, would he not?
Well, they have Friday off.
That's Well,
if
they're
they
Thursday
win.
off and Friday off, and then wouldn't
Thursday.
Castile be on normal rest?
Yeah, so they could flop them too if they needed to.
Okay.
So
All right. So you think Kirby could be an option? Just
yeah, I
could be.
mean, I think I don't know. I thought Dan is so much more rigid to the old school compared to like maybe Scott or those guys would do it.
Again, the full Ryan Divish podcast, Inside Pitch, available only for Puck's Posse members. Full 30 minutes. We discuss more about the Game 4 between the Mariners and Tigers coming up later this afternoon. It's available now, again, up on the Puck's Posse page. All you got to do is go to pucksports.com and join today. It's just $5 a month. All right. And no, Divish, I do not believe is in the witness protection program, although he looks like he is. We got football coming up. We're going to talk to Rob Staton, SeahawksDraftBlog.com, coming up momentarily in the show. But before we do that, it is a Wednesday. We're going to play you also a sneak peek portion of Old Crimson. Cougs got a game coming up on Saturday. They are heavy underdogs against the Ole Miss Rebels. Do they stand a chance? Paul Sorensen, former All-American safety at Wazoo, and Jim Moore, they're glass half full. Me, glass half empty. Cougs, Ole Miss, the full Old Crimson podcast available right now on the Puck's Posse page. It's free, by the way, if you want to listen to it. If you would like to watch three people yell and scream, it's available on YouTube. Just search Puck Sports. We give you a little 5 minutes of Old Crimson before we talk to Rob Staton. All things Seahawks coming up here on the Daily Puck Drop. If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. All right, so Jim Moore, you like the Cougs on the points?
Yeah, I like the Cougs and the points every week, but especially this week. I was surprised when I saw it opened up at 33.5, and so I pounded it with $50, and then it went down to 32.5, and I raised it up to 33 and paid a little extra vig. And I mean, what the hell? Puck, didn't you think we were going to be like 24-point underdogs? I don't think we're that bad, are we, to be 33-point underdogs in this game?
This is about what I expected.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really? God, are we that?
Oh, this is the number 4 team in the country.
I know, but we're the Cougs,
have you looked at Jim? This is their offensive line, and then I'm going to follow it up with our defensive line. But this is what their offense, and they average like 208 yards on the ground. On the ground, they got a quarterback that is leading the SEC in yards completed. It's like 16 yards per attempt. And guess what he is? He's the dreaded dual threat quarterback. He's already thrown for 1,000 yards. He's the second leading rusher on the team. Their offensive line is Diego Pounds, 6'6", 335. Delano Townsend is their left guard, 6'5", 330. He's a sophomore, by the way. Their center, Bryson Sanders, is 6'6", 310. Their right guard, Patrick Kudus, at 6'4", 350. And the right tackle is Jaden Williams, 6'4", 320. Do you know who our biggest guy on the defensive line is? Are you aware who that is?
No, but what is it, 265, 270?
290. Mike Sanjo is 290. Our DNs are 255 and 250. They're almost 100 pounds lighter than these guys.
Yeah, but don't you have a quickness advantage?
There you go.
Sure. Yeah.
That's it. That's the key.
Yeah, the problem is that probably the left guard, this Delano Townsend at 6'5", 330, is probably as fast as our linebackers. They've got a defensive tackle, number 51, is Xavier Harris from Canton, Mississippi. He's 6'8", 330 pounds.
Okay, that's not fat.
Their average
6'8",
line, Puck, their average line is
330
6'5". Their average line across the front, offensive line is 6'5", 333 pounds. The average,
Lord.
that's their
okay,
offensive
does all of
line
this
average.
necessarily mean we're going to get manhandled?
Probably.
I think there's a good chance, yeah.
Which means that they can take one big guy and take our defensive
In other
line.
words, lay the points?
I would if I were going to bet. You know my policy. I don't bet on them ever.
Yeah,
I would
boy,
probably
that's so
take.
noble of you.
No, it's not noble. There's nothing to do with nobility. It's I don't
Bet
want
on the Cougs. Come on.
I
Bet
don't
on
want
the Cougs. That's our team. That's our alma mater. Fight for Washington State. Take the points.
I don't want the added stress. So I don't like
No,
it.
that-
I
I'm
don't
rushing
need
the
the
field.
added stress.
Wait
Win
a
or
minute.
lose,
Wait, Paul, wait a
I'm
minute.
rushing the field.
Wait. Flip
Yeah.
it around. We can lose by 30 and you're going to win money.
That's what you said the
Sure,
last
I
time, and
understand.
we got crushed. And no, what was the game that? San Diego State. You guarantee the under. Okay, remember? And then they were going to kick a field goal, which you would have won on the under. And then that dumbass jumped off sides twice. And then the quarterback came in, who you hated, and he scored on a 6-yard touchdown run, and you lost.
I'm saving my money up for some things over here. I don't got money to spend on the Cougs.
Quarterback. There you go. So if they can figure out a way to slow the really big, large, angry people up front and give Zevy some time to just kind of pick and choose and dink and dunk down the field, you can score some points on these guys. And so there's always a chance, dude. We got 1.5% chance per ESPN, 1.5% chance of winning the game. It can happen. We got a chance.
Interesting.
Okay.
They only allow
so
19
not a big
points a game,
not a big
though.
pressure team. They like to keep you in the pocket, but they don't get a lot of sacks. They don't get a lot of TFLs. So I think this is a game where, unless they have to start blitzing, that Zevy can sit there and he can throw the football around, and that's good for
Paul,
Washington State. They've had a bye week. They're not talking about Washington State. Washington State's just doing their thing. They see 2 59-point games at North Texas and also at Washington. They're thinking, okay, we're just going to roll. And then you get in there and you start playing, you do your thing. You never know. I'm just telling you never know. Washington State hung the worst loss on Johnny Majors in Tennessee history when Tim Rosenbaugh and company came in there in 1988, threw 59 points up on them. That was the year Johnny Majors got fired. Nobody was talking about Washington State then either.
Give me a final score prediction, Paul.
I'm going 42-27. Unfortunately, Ole Miss, but it's going to be closer than what people
42-27.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Jim Moore. Prediction, thoughts.
I'll go with 41-20 Ole Miss.
40-20. Okay, 41-20.
41.
God, I'm the asshole, huh?
They have a
Good
good
job,
kicker,
Jim.
too.
Yeah, we do. He hasn't missed a field goal or an extra point. How about that, Jim? You love those kickers.
I'm going to go 51-10.
Oh,
Who wins?
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm sorry, Coug fans. I can't bring myself to think they've got a chance. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm bloody wrong. All right, there, the entire Old Crimson podcast available right now on all platforms, including YouTube, and it's actually on the Puck's Posse membership page. All you got to do is go to pucksports.com. It is free, though. We'll probably put it up. I may put the audio version up on the normal podcast platforms there as well, on Apple and Spotify and all the other different platforms, in addition to the ones we have up there already. But it is up on YouTube if you would like to watch the three of us get after it and yell and scream and go through height and weight of the Ole Miss football program. All right, coming up momentarily, we'll talk Seahawks football here with Rob Staton and get the very latest of his thoughts on the Seahawks. What does he make of the loss to Tampa Bay? Now looking ahead to a game which I don't know. In the beginning of the season, I'm thinking Jacksonville. Jacksonville, that's fine. That's no problem. All of a sudden, you look at what Jacksonville has put together, coming off back-to-back victories, over the 49ers and the Buccaneers. They're playing good football. And so they got to deal with a little testy little Jacksonville team coming up this week. And then after that, they'll have the Monday night game against Houston, then the bye, and then Washington. So a real interesting, I think, 3-game stretch here for Seattle, and see if they can turn it around. And we'll get Rob's thoughts on how the defense performed, the offense, which was a great performance, again, by Sam Darnold and company. All right, let's get to it. Inside the Bloody Trenches with Rob Staton. It's all brought to you by Georgetown Brewery.
Drink Georgetown Tavern Beer, your new locally brewed domestic style lager. 4.2% alcohol. Cheap, good, local.
And here he is, Rob Staton. He joins us every single week to talk Seahawks football. And, of course, Inside the Bloody Trenches with Rob, brought to you by Georgetown Brewer. You can follow Rob on social media, by the way, at Rob Staton. Check out his YouTube page, Rob Staton Football. And, of course, read all of his work up at the fantastic Seahawks draftblog.com. Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm great, Puck. How are you?
I'm doing great. Wasn't doing great on Sunday. Doing great on Sunday. It was fun to watch an offense move up and down the field and see a quarterback that was playing fantastic. But I'm getting tired of watching a defense. And I know they had guys out, but my God, you and I would be wide open over the middle of that field.
Yeah, it was a very difficult day defensively, and a real shame because they scored 5 consecutive touchdowns on drives. I'm guessing that's happened before, but I can't remember watching the Seahawks do it before. Every time the Seahawks had the ball, it felt like they were going to score. And if you score 35 points at home, you shouldn't lose the game, in my opinion. And look, if it's not for the mistake at the end, I call it a mistake. It's not for a misfortune at the end. And if that drive continues, maybe they are the ones who get into range for the field goal, they win, and we just say it's an exciting win. But there were some definite issues there. I'm leaning more towards giving them a mulligan and seeing what happens this weekend because of the injuries. But obviously, they need to bounce back next week.
Why do you want to give them a mulligan?
Because I think Tyre Carter and Nehemiah Pritchett are not good enough. And I think you throw in a rookie in Nick Emenwari basically playing his first game into that as well. I think that the players that they are using, Tyrese Knight looks, whatever was happening with Tyrese Knight in the summer, in the off-season, in the training camp rather, he's not looked anywhere close to the player who did quite well as a rookie last year. Drake Thomas is doing his best, but I think he's in that category of player who probably wouldn't start for any other team, maybe any other team. And then you've got 2 pass rushes out as well. So you hammer your depth there. And I think all of that combined, plus facing Baker Mayfield, who is just playing out of his mind at the moment. Emeka Egbuka, was a player that it's funny how people love to remind you of the draft calls that you get wrong, but don't often talk about the things you get right. And as a huge fan of Emeka Egbuka, he's playing so well. So I think it was a perfect storm of horribleness, if that is even a freaking word.
We can make it a word. It doesn't matter. Sure.
But, they're going to go to Jacksonville next, and they're an offensive-led team with a quarterback who is very streaky and hit and miss. So we need to see a response.
But it's another here's where I would counter with it. They had no Mike Evans, down 2 linemen, no Bucky Irving, and they had problems in their secondary as well, which probably led to Seattle moving the ball so efficiently. But this is a problem that goes back to last year when they face a top offense. They have really had no success under Mike McDonald in stopping a top 10 offense. And, the guys, I understand individuals getting beat one-on-one. And I actually thought even on the Pritchard touchdown, which he gave up, initially he had great coverage. He got out of it. He got out of pressure or, a little bit of pressure, was able to make a play down the field, and he lost track of him. But there weren't guys 20 yards around him. Over the middle, you still got Kobe Bryant, you still got Ernest Jones, there's still Leonard Williams on that team, and Byron Murphy, and a bunch of guys that were still on that field. That they just could not get a stop. And I go back to last year when Minnesota was up and down the field on him. Green Bay was up and down the field on him. Buffalo's up and down the field on him. They have yet to prove under his leadership that they can dispatch a really good offense.
I will counter and say that in those games, here's the other side of that. So let's just take they conceded 36 points against the Niners last season in the first game. They conceded 30 points against the Packers at home as well, and they conceded 27 points against the Vikings. In those 3 games, Geno Smith threw 5 interceptions. And in one of those games, he pulled himself out of the game and Sam Howell came in and threw an extra interception. So, yes, the defense was poor in those games, but equally, the offense turned the ball over two interceptions a game. And you're not going to win many football games like that. So I think it was a combination of defense not perhaps playing that well, but also offense not being able to help the defense and not put pressure on the opponents. And that enabled you to get the score to get away from you. I need to have a look at the Buffalo game as well, because that was another one that was really bad, wasn't it? So I'll check that one out. But, I think that's the point. And look, the Bills possibly should have been in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So in the Bills game, Geno Smith, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and they ran for 32 yards. So the offense was absolutely hopeless in all of those games. And I think that definitely contributed to some struggles for the defense. And the other thing I would say is there have been moments this season where the defense has not played very well. The fourth quarter against Arizona is a good example of that. Periods of, the whole second half in this game is an example of that. But there have been, people. It's not something that I think is a mirage. We have been talking about how good this defense is, and I think I'm right in saying they were like the top DVOA defense going into this weekend. So they must be doing something right.
Yeah, I understand that, and again, in all the statistics that go into creating that are fine. I'm just asking people with their eyes, for watching it for 2 years. Just with your eyes, when have they shut someone down that came in with a good offense? And again, I know there's a reason they're a good offense and they're a good team. I just think at this moment, I think they're a good defense, but I think there was this feeling in this offseason that we wanted to crown them to be like the second coming of the Legion of Boom. They haven't even sniffed it yet. They haven't earned that right. They don't get, listen, I don't know where their sack numbers are at. I don't think they're awful, but they don't get consistent pressure on the quarterback yet. And, listen, we're talking this week. If you look around, and people are talking this week about acquiring defensive ends. Why are we trying to acquire defensive ends with 5 games into the season? Because they consistently don't get pressure by anyone. They don't create pressure because they don't blitz. They want to get home with 4 guys. I just think it's good. I just think it's premature that people get overly excited about it, because I just don't personally think they're there yet.
Yeah, I think there's. I'll just say what I said before. I think there's a bit of an overreaction to this game in particular, and I think the next game is important. Look, if they go to Jacksonville and give up another 30 points, and then I think they've got the Houston Texans and the Commanders, and if this is now becomes the trend, they give up 30 points, and then that'll definitely be a point well made. I just think that again, the context of last season is offense was awful for all of those games. And then this season, I think the defense has generally played quite well for the most part, except this one game where you are missing Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon, linebacker next to Ernest Jones is an issue, 2 pass rushers out. Even a player like Reek Woolen, who, obviously gets a mixed press at the best of times, he's out of the game as well. I just think that was so much. And you're playing just be honest, Baker Mayfield's shit hot at the moment. Like, he is playing better than anybody in the league. So I just think we need to take a step back. And there's plenty of football over the next 3 games to make an assessment on this defense. And again, last week, I didn't hear anybody talking about the defense being awful. Perhaps we talked about the Arizona at the end of the game being an issue. And then nearly throwing that away, but we quickly moved on. But I don't think anyone was saying this defense is a massive worry before this game.
And I'm not trying to say it's a massive worry. I want people to understand what I'm saying. And in Jacksonville, to me, is not a test for them defensively. Washington will be. LA will be.
Jaguars beat the Niners, beat the Chiefs.
You go, what's that?
Jaguars
but they didn't do it with
the Chiefs.
Yeah, but they didn't do it with their offense, Rob. They did it with their defense. I'm talking about an offensive football team that is their identity is offense. Worries me against his defense because, again, and yes, all those things you said about last year are correct, but it's still his defense has not done anything against those teams. Now, Washington, he'll get tested. The Rams, he'll get tested. And, I guess San Francisco at the end of the year, we'll see where San Francisco's at the end of the year. I think it's more of a reaction to how we just assumed it was this great defense and that it's now going to be on the levels of some of the best in the league. I mean, again, a great defense should thrive at home, right? We would agree with that?
Well,
I mean, they're 4-8 under him at home.
Yeah. How many of those 8 losses, though? I mean, like the reason they lost the first game, for me, was the offensive game plan was atrocious. So that's one defeat. And some of those other games, those 8, there was no running game last year. The offensive line was an abomination. Geno Smith was throwing interceptions. So again, I think I'm sort of looking at the box scores here. I need to sort of have a look and see. So the Packers got 369 yards. That's quite a lot. I mean, it's not 500, but it's a fair amount. The Vikings had 298 total yards against Seattle last year. That's not an amazing amount. They were 3 of 12 on third down. Perhaps they lost that game, Seattle. Well, look, Seattle threw that game away. As I try and remember that game, that was one of the games where the offense threw that one away. The Buffalo game was an absolute spanking by just a vastly superior team last year. And the Bills, did everything that they wanted to in that game. Third down, 8 of 15, 445 yards. Head coach, is one of his first 10 games that he was in charge. I'm not worried. The DVOA thing, I'm not a big one of just sort of pointing at analytics and going. I think there's been quite a few graphs over the last few weeks. Like I keep seeing graphs with Boye Mafe and Derek Hall, graded very highly for pass rush and pressures and stuff like that. And I don't think that's passing the eye test personally. So I understand that sort of these analytics things could be manipulated. I mean, heck, everyone was saying Geno Smith was a top 10 quarterback for the last 3 years, and I think we're seeing that was a load of bollocks. But with this, with this in particular, for them to be number one DVOA, I don't think the Seahawks have got the best defense in the NFL. But I suppose I'm going to lean on that as sort of it's definitely going to make me sort of think, yeah, okay, that was a horrendous performance against the Buccaneers. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do against the Jags. Let's see what they do against the Texans. Let's see what they do against the Commanders, because there's an opportunity there. And look, this might be the kick up the arse that they need. Maybe they come out after this game and they're like, okay, we've kind of had an epiphany moment here. We know the limitations of this roster now, and we need to coach accordingly.
The positive coming out of that game, and we've talked about him a lot, is offensively how different they look this year, and it starts with Sam Darnold. I mean, he was on the verge of just like an historic, like Seahawks franchise performance. He was playing that well and continues to play just spectacular football right now, Rob.
Yes, I mean, fantastic, and it comes with the caveat of Geno Smith played fantastic football until Munich in 2022, and then regressed, and then never quite reached that amazing level at the start of his time. So it is certainly possible that Sam Darnold is just having an amazing start, and in a few weeks' time comes back down to earth a little bit. So I think we all kind of should couch our views in that sort of with that, admitting that that's a possibility. But it's exciting. He's 28 years old. He is looking physically, some of the throws that he's making, it's not just that he's running the offense. Like he's making spectacular plays. He looks superb. Puck, I've written an article today about the trade, about maybe being bold with trades. And the reason that I feel a bit more keen to do that now is that before the season, I thought you've got to keep your picks, because if Sam Darnold doesn't work out, you might have to draft a quarterback next year. Whereas now I'm sort of thinking he's answering that question. And then the other thing is he's playing so well that this now opens up the possibility that this season can be something a bit more than maybe people expected, because it's wide open. Like the whole NFL is wide open. Oh yeah, they're definitely the way that their offense is playing is definitely a playoff caliber team. I will say, God, this is going to sound so bad. Can people just take it easy on me? What I'm about to say. Don't yell at me. Depends what it is.
Just don't yell. Please don't yell at me. Just understand what I'm going to say here, because I know how it's going to come out. He played great. He was fantastic. He should have had 3 interceptions, though.
Yeah, I don't think.
Is that fair? Like we are glossing over that final drive, that 99-yard drive, that he threw a pick six. That ball just went right through that guy's hands. So I do think I want him to come through in these big moments. And, you know, the 2 times he's had the ball, big moments, again, I know it's not all his fault, but, you know, you had a lineman get pushed back at him and he fumbles it. And then he feels pressure trying to get away and then throws it off. And again, throws it off a guy's helmet. Now you can say just bad breaks, bad luck, but again, it is 2 games in which he's had a chance to win the game, lead them down there, and it's resulted in turnovers. And please, Seahawks fans, take it easy on me. Don't start yelling and screaming at me.
I mean, look, it's definitely fair to say that they were lucky with the overturned interception being, you know, called back on a flag, and then, you know, that one at in towards the end zone was, you know, a heart in mouth moment that they were very lucky to escape from.
And there's another one, Rob. Sorry to interrupt. There's another one on that drive where he throws an out to Cooper Kupp. The guy jumps it and he just gets by him.
Yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. That was very close. So yeah, look, he's had those, but you know, I think back to Baker Mayfield's performance against the Eagles the week before, and he threw a horrendous red zone interception, and that possibly cost them the game. You know, Sam Darnold is not flawless. He's not playing at a level where, you know, you could see like Brady, you know, 10 years ago at that season, we had like 50 touchdowns and like 6 interceptions. Like he's definitely not doing that. I think there is always going to be the possibility that he'll throw a pick. I think he's really unlucky with that last pick because I think he does the right thing. He's trying to throw that ball into the turf. It hits someone's helmet, like, okay, Christ. And I think the one against the Niners, Nick Bosa makes a play. And Nick Bosa's, you know, a world-class player. So I'm more inclined to... We often sort of say with quarterbacks, oh, you know, it like he gets blamed for that. Sometimes it's okay just to go, Nick Bosa was freaking awesome on that play.
Sure, absolutely.
And he won the game for his team. That's why he gets paid what he gets paid and why it's such a big loss for the Niners. So I think he's great. And this is why I think, look, you've got an opportunity there. The defense is missing something. And, you know, I was looking today. I wrote an article. It went out about an hour ago. I actually had a look at who they could potentially trade for. There's not a lot of great options out there. I've seen most of the names, but the one that really intrigued me was when he signed his contract, I thought Max Crosby that's it. He's committed to the Raiders. Ooh. That is it. I thought he's gone. Okay. But Puck, here's the thing. I went and had a look at the structure of his contract. It's very interesting. So if the Browns Browns extended Myles Garrett, didn't they, this year? If they were to trade Myles Garrett tomorrow, it would cost them nearly $70 million next year in dead money and $20 million this year. So, you know, nearly $100 million in dead cap space. So that is a commitment. Myles Garrett is tied to the Browns. He is going nowhere. If the Raiders want to trade Max Crosby tomorrow, it'll cost them $5 million next year. This contract has been set up to play it by ear. It was a window dressing contract. It was we want to be competitive now. We want to show that our fan base that we're committed. We want to show that our star player is committed to us competing this year. And we're going to present it that way. And then what is the actual truth behind the contract is Max Crosby has said, I will do this, but if I want to leave, you've got to make it possible that I can. And the team have obviously looked at that and thought, we agree. We are going to bless you with that freedom of being able to get out of this franchise if so, and that we will acknowledge that if we need to rebuild in a big way, you are our best asset. You will be able to get us some picks. So they're 1-4. They just lost 40 points to 6. The fan base, such as it is in Vegas, are calling for Carroll to be fired and Geno Smith to be benched for Kenny Pickett. Everything is going downwards for the Raiders. I'm just saying, this has got the feeling that if, you know, they're playing the Titans this weekend. If they lose that game and drop to 1-5, all bets are off. And Max Crosby, in my opinion, Puck, is on the table for teams who want to make a splash.
You want me to get back to smoking? Is that what you're trying to do? Because after you said that, I'll go out and have a cigarette right now. Okay. Because that's what I'm going to go do. Good God, man. Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't sign up for that? What are their? You probably know this. What's their draft capital next season? Do you have it off the top of your head?
If you give me 2 seconds, I'll tell you. I mean, look, you mean for Seattle or
for Seattle to part with?
Oh, they've got most of their picks. They have the first round, a second round, a third rounder, fourth rounder, fifth rounder, sixth rounder. So the only thing they don't have is the seventh rounder.
Yeah, give it all of it.
Well, here's the other thing that I would say is, in doing the draft blog, by the time I get to March, there's 300 players on the board, and I've got 96 there at the minute. But by now, Puck, if there are players that are emerging in college football. Sure. And I have to say, this is the weakest year of doing the blog for the not in terms of the quality, but in terms of the standard of the players that you're scouting. Like every week, I'm like desperately like watching players and just not seeing it. Like it's very hard to find first round picks in this draft class. I think it's going to be potentially the weakest draft I've ever done. And I started Seahawks draft blog in 2008. So I have no problem with parting with stock. Like if you wanted to give up a first and a third next year and then something else in 2027 for Max Crosby, I'm all in on that because the options are not there in this next draft. And here's the other thing. Max Crosby's contract until 2029. So you don't have to we've got to re-sign him in the offseason or we've got to worry about his contract. No. He is signed for the next 4 years. So you don't have to worry about that. Contract's done. He just comes in. You know what you're paying him. Comes in, has an immediate impact. I think that's the one. That's what they've got to go for. So
God almighty, man.
Can I throw one other nugget your way?
I don't know. I can't take it anymore. I can't take another one. You already got me. Well, you had me at Max Crosby.
Here's the other thing that makes this more intriguing. Albert Breer reported before the season began that the Seahawks offered Geno Smith and DK Metcalf to the Raiders for Max Crosby. So we know that they are interested in him. And the Raiders said no on that occasion and eventually traded for Geno Smith separately. But we know the Seahawks like Max Crosby. So all I'm saying is if they trade for Max Crosby in the next 2 weeks, you heard it here first.
There we go. You did. And that's why Georgetown pays him the big bucks, people. Just for that. SeahawksDraftBlog.com is the website. He's got news articles up there, including the article we just talked about in regards to Max Crosby. Rob Staton Football on YouTube. Follow him on social media at Rob Staton. Did I miss anything? Did I cover it all?
No, that's fine. Only thing left to say is good luck to the Mariners.
Yeah, we need it. Can you stay up and root from afar?
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and find a way to watch the game. The BBC is actually broadcasting some baseball games.
Let's go, BBC.
But they haven't shown any Mariners yet. So I'm like, when are they going to show a Mariners playoff game?
Rob, are they broadcasting the games with the funny microphones?
Well, no, they'll be taking the American broadcasts. But if they want someone to go over there and have a go with the funny microphones, then
I love those microphones.
I raise my hand.
God, those are. Can you just send me one of those?
I could have brought one along when we met.
God, I love it. I love those things. All right, Rob, you're the best. Thank you as always, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you.
There he is, Rob Staton. Rob Staton football there on YouTube. SeahawksDraftBlog.com, including that story that he's got up there about wanting to go get Max Crosby in all of it. Fine. Give him whatever they want for Max Crosby. If you missed any of Rob Staton's appearance, it will be up on the Daily Puck Drop here on Puck Sports. Also, you can find it up on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Just search Puck Sports. All right, we're going to try and get out of here a little early so we can all get ready for the Mariners and Tigers coming up. Game 4 of the ALDS. A reminder, full Ryan Divish available for Puck's Posse members. You can join today for just $5 a month. In addition to that, Old Crimson podcast, 30-plus minutes breaking down Ole Miss, available on all podcast platforms, including YouTube. We played you a little snippet of it today, but we give you the full treatment up on all platforms. All right. We end every show with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when these damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Well, I was going to say something profound. No, not really, because I never do. Baseball is the best. Enjoy today. Hopefully there's many more of these type of games in our future. And I thought it'd be a good time to dust off the old Mariners opening day montage as we are sitting here 40 plus minutes away. And then we will sign off. So thank you for everyone watching and listening to today's show. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Limback Lumber, Georgetown Brewery, Restoration One, and for Jim's visits on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Big thanks to A Clean Streak, Brotherton Cadillac, and Angry Beaver. And a reminder, if you want full access to everything we do, you're supporting the Daily Puck Drop, and you get bonus shows as well. Great time to sign up, become a member of the Puck's Posse. Just $5 a month gets you the full Ryan Divish show, KJ Arntz on Thursdays with Mitch Levy. In addition, our monthly podcast coming out, which you'll also get a special ALCS surprise visit with the sports pit, Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson. Find everything up at pucksports.com. Enjoy.
They come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
25 years from now, you're going to want to say, I was there when Ken Griffey Jr. made his home debut. So don't forget that on Monday night. There's a drive into the gap in left center field and deep left center field. And Henderson's not going to get to it. It's off the base of the wall. And Griffey to second base in his first major league at bat. A ringing double off the 375 marker. And we have seen that all spring. Welcome to the show, Ken Griffey Jr.
Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. Greatest money they have, and peace they love.
A man all alone with himself, but not all alone here, as 24,000 incredibly rabid Mariner fans are looking for that final strike. That will set Mariner history. Here comes the left-hander's wind. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing! It's over! He has done it! High fastball, Randy Johnson.
Walk out to the bleachers. Sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. You'll find you have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines. Where they sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game. And it'll be as if they dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick, they'll have to brush them away from their faces.
Terrence Long is lead over at first. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and a ground ball punched into right field for a base hit. So heading to third base is Long. The throw to third base, and they've got him nailed at third base on a tremendous throw by Ichiro. I'm here to tell you that Ichiro threw something out of Star Wars down there at third base. He fired a shot about 3 feet off the ground all the way on the fly to David Bell, and Terrence Long was DOA. And now Sasaki is set. And now the right-hander is to the plate with the 0-2 to A-Rod. Swing! And a foul tip into the glove of Dan Wilson, who hangs on to it. And no baseball team in history has ever won more games than the Seattle Mariners.
One constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. As America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
2-1 pitch to Junior. Swung on line to the right field for a base hit. Around third, here comes Bradley. Junior has won the ball game.
Now the left-hander ready. Branding iron hot. The 1-2 pitch. K inserted. It's over right over the heart of the plate. Randy looks to the skies. That is covered by the dome.
Baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
No shoes, no ties.
Anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We like to sell out, man.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!